21 season schedule, and perhaps the most intriguing part of the tweet, representing one of our favorite social media pastimes, observing who isn't in the post. In this case, the notable absence of one Julio Jones among the player images. What might that mean? Well, I'll tell you what this means. The extra week added to the season, meaning the first bye weeks now pushed back as well. In fact, this year, when the byes begin in week 6, will be the latest we've had one in NFL history. The Bucs also made for prime time. We'll have 10 primetime games the last 2 years by the end of this season, which equals the combined number they had from 2013 to 2019. And how about a tale of 2 seasons this year for the Colts? Toughest schedule in the first 8, easiest in the last 9. But that's just based off opponents' win totals from last year. So keep that in mind when Indy goes 8-0 and we're talking about how great they are, okay? And whether that's an overreaction or not, because that is the name of the game here with Michael Robinson and James Jones, looking at potential overreactions. And so we'll start with 3 minutes on the clock. Go ahead and fire it up. Here we go. And our first potential overreaction here, adding an extra game to work with, so maybe some more records will fall. At least 5 single-season records will be broken in 2021. Overreaction or not?
I'm gonna say it's not an overreaction. Okay, guys, we added an extra game. We all see the evolution of offenses, JJ. You see how these quarterbacks are moving the ball all over the place. They're moving the ball up and down the field. Offenses are spread out. So I think guys will be able to get after the quarterback fast. I think that sack record may go down. I'm not too sure about the rushing record, just because not a lot of teams just run the football like Derek Henry does. Maybe he's a guy that could do it. But I definitely see a lot of records going down in 2021.
I 100% agree, Mike Rob. One more game, one more time to get busy, and we see people breaking records. Devontae Adams, Stephon Diggs, they going to work 13, 14 games and still breaking these records and having the seasons they're having. This is not an overreaction. I think a lot of records will fall with that extra game.
Glad you guys can agree on something today. Let's move on here to Tom Brady, who's accomplished just about everything that you can in the NFL, except for maybe going back to his old home there at Gillette Stadium and beating the Patriots. So, Rob, the question to you, Tom Brady can finally complete his career resume with a win over the Patriots. Overreaction or not?
Oh, that's an overreaction. You talking about finally complete his career? Brett, that man that played football almost longer than I'd have been alive. You know what I'm saying? 7 Super Bowls. He's got all these passing records and things like that, and he's trying to play till he's 50. Tom Brady don't got to prove nothing to nobody. I don't care if he don't never beat the New England Patriots. Tom Brady's still a GOAT. Maybe the greatest football player we've ever seen. So I'm going to say that's definitely an overreaction.
Man, is this back-to-back? It is definitely overreaction, and I'm agreeing with you, Mike Rob. Listen, we have 1 Super Bowl ring, and can't nobody tell us nothing. Give me 7 of them things. You won't be able to tell me nothing. Tom Brady has done anything and everything that he wanted to do, and he is the greatest to ever do it. But I will say this, Mike Rob, the competitor in us, with all that, the 7 Super Bowls, if Bill Belichick beats him, he is going to lose some sleep and be like, I did not beat Bill Belichick. So he will definitely lose some sleep over, but he doesn't have to accomplish anything else.
Final question here for you with some Thanksgiving Day game history. The Cowboys, the last 6 seasons, their outcome on Thanksgiving Day has mirrored whether they will go to the playoffs or not, okay? So let's say this. The Cowboys season, Rob, rests on a Thanksgiving Day game against the Raiders. Overreaction or not?
I'm going to say, I hate to say it, I'm going to say it's not an overreaction. I mean, you just got to look at what history told us, JJ. I mean, first of all, 8 of the first 9 games are against teams that missed the playoffs last year. So Dallas should be able to at least get to Thanksgiving. And then you look at it, 2016, 2018, they made the playoffs, but they won on Thanksgiving. 2015, 17, 19, and 20, they lost. So I got to go with history.
You know what, Mike Rob? Our time is up. 3 minutes is gone. But, hey, we didn't finish off on a strong note, man. This is an overreaction, man. It's 1 game. I understand what the stats say and all that stuff, but it's 1 game. You got plenty of games left after Thanksgiving. This one ain't going to matter.
All right, fine. However, Cowboys lost last year, got blown out by Washington, and did not make the playoffs. And we do have some quarterback questions on what amounts to a first look type of Friday here on NFL Total Access. Hello, everybody. I am Rhett Lewis. It is our first look at a couple of rookie quarterbacks on the field for rookie minicamp. Like number 3 overall pick Trey Lance up in the Trey area with the Niners does today begin his quest to unseat Jimmy Garoppolo as San Francisco's starter. That's the name of the game in Chicago as well. Where number 11 overall pick Justin Fields breaks his first huddle as a Bears quarterback. But will he break the first huddle right here in Los Angeles against the Rams when they face off week 1? And when will Aaron Rodgers break his silence? Today, the only quarterbacks wearing a Packers uniform are minicamp tryouts, Chad Kelly and Kurt Banker. But is number 12 in uniform against the Saints week 1? Question Matt LaFleur faced yet again today.
How do you prepare Jordan Love? Do you start to work on him as though he's going to be the starter? Do you have to find out things that he likes just in case you don't have Aaron?
Yeah, Tom, I'm not going to make any assumptions about anything at this point. We're just going to take it day to day. But I think every player on our roster is got to have the mentality that they're going to be the guy. If not, when you do get your opportunity, you will not be prepared for it. But I've got nothing new to update, and we still obviously feel the same way. It's, we want him back in the worst way. I know he knows that, and, we'll continue to work at it each and every day.
All right, another episode of Rodgers Reality TV back here with Michael Robinson and, of course, one of Aaron's teammates there in Green Bay, our guy James Jones. And, James, let's just start this thing off. By the way, you could end this thing right now if you really wanted to. Just pick up the phone, give him a call, let us know what's going on. But let's just start this with, why do you think that Aaron hasn't said anything since this whole thing started?
Well, you know what? I don't got to pick up the phone for this one. This one here is easy, right? Because number one, he didn't start all this mess. He's not the one who tweeted it out and said all this mess. And number two, the way Aaron Rodgers works is if he is going to say something, it's going to be straight to the GM and the head coach. He will communicate with them. He's not going to come out publicly and say, this is how it's going, this is how it's going to be, this is what I want. He is going to talk to the organization and make sure they iron out whatever they have to iron out. But yes, Mike Rob, you're looking at me like that. He didn't start this mess, Mike Rob. It was somebody who tweeted this out and then tried to back up on their tweet and say, well, hey, Aaron didn't say it and this person said it. So Aaron didn't start this mess. He'll come out when he needs to say something. But if he does, it's going to be straight to the GM and the head coach.
James, the reason why I'm looking at you like that is because, I kind of agree with you to a point, all right? You said Aaron Rodgers didn't start this whole ordeal. He didn't tweet it. He didn't put it out there. But he does have the power to end it, right? He does. All he has to say is, that ain't true. Nothing else. He don't have to say nothing else. Nothing else. He don't got to go into why he, at the end of last year, at the end of the game, said that he don't know if he's going to be here next year and all of that stuff. He don't even have to go into all the cryptic messaging he's been saying over the last year. Okay, I think Aaron Rodgers, and I'm pretty sure he hadn't been locked up before, but I think he's practicing that anything I say can and will be used against you in a court of public opinion. That's why he's being quiet. I think the more he talks, or if he does talk, eventually that'll be used against him. And I think if most fans are looking at it, especially the way I am, they don't know what the hell Aaron Rodgers is that upset about. It seems like they're the kings of the NFC Championship game. They're there every year. I just need Aaron Rodgers to make the plays in the biggest games when they need to be made. That's all I'm saying, Aaron Rodgers. Either step up to the mic and say something, or just make the plays in the biggest games to get your team to the championship. Simply put.
All that sounds good, Mike Rob, and I agree to a certain extent, because the only person he does have to say something to is, like I said, is the head coach and the GM. He doesn't know anybody else nothing. Not me, not you, not the network, nobody else nothing. He only has to communicate with those guys. And like I said before, he's not the one who leaked all this and tweeted all this. So once they communicate and get it all ironed out, then that's the only people he has to answer to. But I do know that he will be playing for the Green Bay Packers.
Go ahead, Mike. You want to say something? Go ahead.
All right. Well, I guess what I'm saying is, then why say all of that stuff at the end of games last year, James? Why say that he don't know if he's going to be there next year? I mean, he's one of the top
Rob,
talents that our game has ever seen.
But that's just the reality of it, Mike Rob, because when we seen him draft Jordan Love, me and you, everybody talking was saying, okay, what does this mean for Aaron? This is uncertainty for Aaron. This is a first rounder. You have to see what a first rounder is capable of doing. So does this mean 1 year for Aaron, 2 years for Aaron, 3 years for Aaron? We don't know what it means. Everybody was saying that. So all he said after the game was what everybody else was saying when they drafted Jordan Love. And that's how he feels. It's uncertain right now. You have a first round quarterback behind me that eventually will have to play. What does this mean for me? After the loss, Mike Rob, you've been there plenty of times.
BS, man.
Like that.